Thank you, everyone. So my name is Wayne Weinheimer. I'm the Director of Application Services. And so we'll go over briefly a background of Mount Royal University. We'll go over some change drivers. So what decided us to move away from our current tools. And then I'll go over our implementation project and then some expected benefits. So briefly, background of Mount Royal University. We're in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, and we started off as a college in 1910, and we became a university in 2010. And we have about 12,000 credit students, 9,000 FLE, and about 25,000 continuing education students. So we've been a banner client since 1999. So we have student, finance, AR, HR, payroll, and advancement. And other Ellucian tools that we use are DegreeWorks, FlexReg, Banner Relationship Management, Luminous, and the Go Mobile. Other systems that we have are Blackboard, and we're just implementing Chrome River right now. We have InfoSylum, Easy Recruit, StarRes, and a bunch of other ones. And I'm from the centralized IT office. We are a complement of about 75 full-time employees, and we're highly centralized. We're just over 90% centralized IT staff. So what are we using currently for reporting? We're using Oracle reports right now. That's primarily on Banner operational data. And so Oracle reports has a terminal release in the next version of Fusion middleware, so that's one of the reasons why we're moving away from it. Oracle recommends to go to Oracle BI Publisher. We also have Microsoft Access. Now, Microsoft Access is maybe great to pick up very quickly. You can create a quick report or maybe a small application, but there's a lot of issues with Microsoft Access as well. So security and sharing those reports with other areas. And we've recently found out that some areas, business areas, had some critical business processes developed in Microsoft Access. We're trying to address those. We also have Oracle Discover. So we use Oracle Discover over our in-house developed Data Mart, and this is on student data only. Oracle Discover is also end of life with Oracle suggesting Oracle Business Foundation. And we also use Millennium Fast for finance and budget. Now, change. Why are we? What's driving us to change from that current setup? The first one is technology change. So with Banner 9 now supporting Apache Tomcat, we don't require Oracle Forms and then Oracle Fusion middleware. So with Oracle Reports would be our only system using Oracle Fusion middleware. We've decided to move away from Fusion middleware because of its cost. And also Oracle Discover is end of life as well. Next one is silos. You heard about it in the keynote this morning, is that we're trying to break down those silos. We have so many Microsoft Access reports in a lot of business areas, and they're maybe supported by just a few people in those areas, and we're starting to lose some of that knowledge as well. And also we have many systems that have either little reporting or no reporting capabilities at all, so we'd like to get access to that data. Another change driver is self-service. So at Mount Royal, we have a number of new executive, senior management, and they want better access to their data. They want access to it a lot sooner than we're currently being able to deliver to them. And changing demographics and changing expectations, it's kind of the same thing. We have a lot of new staff as well, and so a member may come in and asked to run a report, and what they do now is it's an Oracle report. It's a 30-page document that automatically prints off at the copier close to them, and then they get it, underline things, and oh, there's that one number I need. So by giving I think the new employees aren't used to that model. They're used to just drilling down into their dashboard and finding that information. And that's really the changing expectations. I think how we see data from a consumer side, with things like Fitbit or Mint, like other finance sites, is you get access to your consumer data through data visualizations and dashboards, and people are expecting that now at work. So implementation, we want to grow our use of Argos and grow our knowledge of our data as well. So we have 3 projects. It was kind of initially called the Reporting System Program, but now it's our Argos program. So the first project was our selection, and then the second was getting the system ready for production, and third was the report migration, with Oracle being the key objective. So the first project was the selection. So we created a reporting system selection team. It had members from IT and from the business, and we gathered requirements. Now the requirements were very similar to Hussein's, but I just called out 4 here. So the vendor had to know Banner, and that's one thing that was a challenge. So Evisions has a great knowledge of Ellucian Banner, and we find that that's been a huge benefit. And the number of users. So we're trying to enable self-service for as many staff and faculty as possible was key to us. The ability to query over different data sources, so being able to access other data other than Oracle or other than Ellucian. And support and community. So Argos has a very strong support channel, and Hussein also mentioned the co-op. The co-op has been amazing for us. He mentioned HR dashboard. We downloaded that dashboard from the co-op, and it probably took us 70–80% right from the start. So it would have taken months for us to essentially develop all that from scratch. So the team was able to put together a pilot of an HR dashboard for managers in a few weeks compared to possibly a few months. And then we reviewed a number of systems. We had a lot of demos, and when the recommendation was put forward to we have a technology stewardship committee, so we put forward a request and it was approved. And then we went into system readiness. So we created test and production environments. We went through a great Evisions Argos training. So the entire IT Banner development team went through the data block training, and then the same team plus a lot of subject matter experts. Those are the Access developers. They went through the report developer training as well. We created a reporting database. So we don't have an ODS or EDW, but after talking to the trainer from Evisions, she suggested that we create a reporting database. So what we do is we take a snapshot of our production Banner database, and then we do all of our reporting now on that reporting database. So it's really only a few hours old. If there's anything that needs to be very time sensitive, we still do it on the production database. And we created 2 committees to help with the rollout. Now I come from private sector, so I was not used to all the committees when I started in the higher ed. I used to joke that the best way to wreck a car is to drive it by committee. But now I've drank the Kool-Aid. So I've now drank the Kool-Aid, and I suggested that we create 2 committees for this project. So we have a reporting steering committee, and this is decision makers and key people in all the areas at Mount Royal. And so they monitor the status of the projects, but we also review other data and reporting initiatives. We have a data science area that is looking at, say, Shiny R. So we've just seen what we're doing in terms of data at Mount Royal. And then we have a reporting standards team, and this team is all the subject matter experts, the Banner super users essentially across the university, and they help decide on what the reports should look like, things like fonts, headers, footers, so that team focuses on that. So now we're into the migration project. So we have 3 concurrent migration projects. We have HR, finance, and student. The priority is moving away from Oracle reports and then Microsoft Access, but except for HR, we found critical business processes there after one key individual left. It was a Microsoft Access application that they developed, and now IT has taken ownership of that, and we're moving that into Argos. We're trying to do as many quick wins and share the successes to help drive adoption of Argos. And each project started with an inventory of reports. And we were quite surprised. We don't know what we don't know. We had almost 1,000 reports in just HR, finance, and student, so this does not include our advancement area. or any other area actually at Mount Royal, but almost 90% of that were Microsoft Access. Now, we don't plan to migrate all of these because, well, we actually do plan to migrate all, but they won't be one for one. A lot of the HR reports we found are very similar or almost exactly the same, minus hard-coded parameters. So they would have say a department would be the only difference. So we'll take 30, 40 reports, condense that into one. This is our report migration status as of about a month ago. So the green area, I don't know if you can see the green. You can, it's at 0% there. That is the complete. There's actually two in production right now, and in the next little bit we're going to be moving a lot more to production. So the first few months of the project is really the inventory and the prioritization of the reports. So we're roughly about 5% in the client testing complete or decommissioned phase here, but we still plan to be done by the end of this year. And this was the timeline. So the selection committee was formed in June of 2015. Argos was recommended in October, with the purchase being in December. Then our system readiness started in January and was complete in June. So we were ready in production by the end of June. And then the team took a well-deserved summer off, and after the busy student intake, we started up again in October. We haven't been actually developing reports or migrating reports just for maybe the last 2 months. The first few months were really confirming that the project charter was all done, the inventory. So it's really now that we're starting to get into the report migration. And we do expect to be done by the end of this year. So benefits, what are the benefits we expect or we've seen already? So self-service, so it's getting data to those that need it when they need it. And we plan to enable shadow IT where it makes sense. So being a highly centralized IT team at Mount Royal, we're kind of hesitant on that, just enabling shadow IT, but here we can see that it makes a lot of sense. We have a lot of expertise in some of the business areas in developing reports. They've done it in Access. Now we can give them an enterprise tool to do that. And improvement, so if you can't measure it, you can't improve it. So what we're finding is some of those Microsoft Access reports are actually incorrect as well. So what we're doing is going through and validating all of the reports, and we're actually documenting our reports. So it's going to be a great road so far, and that will enable our management team and executive team to make those data-driven decisions. And student success. This is a new area at Mount Royal University, and what we're trying to do is pull in as much data as possible to predict before they're crying in the corners, try to get them help. So, and that's in like pulling information from Blackboard, pulling information from our recreation system, and tie that in with marks or maybe attendance and see what we can do in predicting student success. Other benefits is system replacement. So we're replacing Oracle reports and possibly Oracle Discover. We will be. My boss maybe put that in, but we will be replacing Oracle Discover. This will save some great maintenance fees from Oracle. And also one thing that I like about Argos is it actually takes us a lot less infrastructure. With our Oracle servers, we cannot use VMware because of the licensing cost. But with Argos, we can use virtual servers, and it's actually a smaller footprint. And our development time, so we expect to respond much more quickly. So this is from our IT team being able to develop reports and using the co-op, data blocks on the co-op, so we can utilize those aspects, but also by enabling our end users to develop the reports, and eventually we're going to let them do data blocks as well, is we can get faster response. And really standardization. This is an enterprise tool for reporting, and it's supported by IT. We follow ITIL change management, so we can now check, we can audit when we put things into production. We're going to have that recorded in our ticketing system. And we can also report on many types of relational databases. And that's it.